Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. There we go. Can we please thank the Grand Ronde dancers for a wonderful performance this morning? I would like to say good morning and welcome you to your state capitol as we dedicate this newly finished plaza. I want to thank the leaders from our 9 sovereign tribes for participating in this historic moment. It is an honor to have you dedicate the plaza with us, a plaza that will serve as a place of gathering and reflection for generations to come. As the people's house, it is only fitting that this building, in the voices of the people that we've been called this place on the ground since time immemorial, and may the words inspire us to endeavor to do the people's work within this building. May they challenge us to expand our perspective beyond the next session or election or budget cycle and make decisions based on the wisdom of generations that come before us and the benefit of the generations to come. And may they serve as an omnipresent reminder of our connection to and reliance upon our natural environment. It is my honor to MC today's event, and the best part is I get to be very brief. I am Rob Wagner, I'm the State Senate President, and I will be introducing each of our speakers to have them come in and offer perspectives this morning, starting with Chair Cheryl Kennedy from the Confederated Tribes of the Grand Ronde.
Lush Chisan, Nakanim, Chair Kennedy. Good morning, everyone. My name is Cheryl Kennedy. I'm the chair of the Confederated Tribes of Grand Ronde. It's so wonderful to see a crowd that's interested in this event that's going on today. Thank you for coming. Hayumasi. I just wanted to share a few brief words. Welcome to the homelands of the Kalapuya people. Kalapuya people were the original tribal people that occupied this area, lived along these rivers, swam in the waters, had their villages, grew families, and loved this land. Loved where you are sitting, where this capital is placed. We're so grateful for that. I'd like to acknowledge the Confederated Tribes of Grand Ronde peoples who are here. If you would stand and be acknowledged. Thank you for being here. I know that there were quite a few that were coming today. Thank you. As I think about this day today, I was thinking that it represents the culture from our hearts, from all of the native peoples across Oregon. The culture that comes from our hearts that were instilled by our Creator. The symbols that we use, the colors that we use, they are all representative of what is in our heart. And the love that we feel for the land, for each other, for our environment, and the hope that we know that generations to come we will still be here. I think about things and how we as people interact with one another as we share things, as we lean on one another, as we gain knowledge and wisdom, especially wisdom, the things that will transcend some of the bad, negative things that are flying in the air today. We know that we have to overcome those things and open our ears and listen to the good that's there. Listen, and not only listen, but to do the things and the gestures that it takes to live with one another in unity. To recognize that there are differences. We were made with different thoughts and again in different ways of dealing with things. So I'm very thankful today that we're able to gather here today with the other chair people of the other tribes of Oregon. It's a wonderful thing to get together and to share with one another and lean on one another, because the road that's ahead is sometimes very difficult and we need one another to walk through. And for this wonderful event, for the completion of this Capitol renovation, it is just beautiful. So I thank you today from the Confederated Tribes of Grand Ronde. Welcome to our homelands, and please have a good day.
For our next speaker, we'd like to welcome Chair Dolores Pigsley from the Confederated Tribes of Siletz.
Good morning. My name is Dolores Pigsley, and I am the chairman of the Confederated Tribes of Siletz. And very happy to be here today and to see a crowd, actually, and to be with the other tribal leaders from Oregon. It's important that we recognize how artistic our folks are, and an art that hasn't been forgotten. And we often talk about art in high schools, which is almost gone. But teaching our youth and our elders and the people that do our artwork, it's amazing. It's amazing to look at what we have here and appreciate the state of Oregon. I just read where they put 1% of any building project, they will have some dedicated artwork. And I'm so happy that it's Native American artwork. I think the artists are to be praised, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing all of the artwork. But I appreciate everyone coming here today. And this is also, Kalapuyas are also members of the Confederated Tribes of Siletz. So we have a lot to be thankful for here in the Willamette Valley, and for all of you and your support and the support of the other tribal council people from Oregon. Thank you.
For our next speaker, we'd like to welcome Vice Chair Carlos Calica from the Confederated Tribes of Warm Springs.
Nick Meitsky, good morning to each and every one of you. It's an honor to be here, to be amongst each and every one of you, and as well the tribal leaders of the state of Oregon. And I say, Nick Meitsky and Mimi Tawatma Tinma, Waniksha, Sitwala, Taikpum, Kuwaskupum, Kunawa. And also thankful to my tribal council, my 3 Warm Springs chiefs, and my elected representatives of the Warm Springs tribe, Bridget McConville of the Siksika district, Joe Moses, our Paiute chief, Raphael Kuipama, our Warm Springs chief, Raymond Moody, our Subnational district councilman, and as well the Wasco chief, Mr. Jefferson Green, Isu. I'm thankful to be here today. It's for this dedication, and it's wonderful to see each and every one of you here today. That, I come from the Warm Springs tribe. We have 3 tribes, the Warm Springs, the Wasco, and the Paiute tribes down in Middle Oregon. And just thankful to have, the brethren, and as well to be able to share times with the brothers and sisters, our fellow councilmen that are here as well, the LCIS, and some of the other programs here that our tribes work with here. So just thankful here today. I wanted to turn the microphone over to my Wasco chief to offer some words as well here this morning.
Ituktiwigwa Tlachma. Good morning, everybody, and good afternoon. So happy to be here and very honored and appreciative to all the tribes, all of the leadership at the state level, county level, all the city levels that contribute to the direction of our great state of Oregon. It is always wonderful to see all of our people come together as best we can to put all of our differences aside and support our leaders, our elected leaders, to be able to push through legislation for the sake of our environments, the sake of our territory, for all of our children and the future generations to be able to experience this beautiful, wonderful state of Oregon at the utmost pristine ability that we can make it as the generations today, that they rely upon each and every one of us that come to this capital, to this wonderful place of meeting, to speak for those that can't speak for themselves, the trees, the animals, the waters, all of the grasses, every single season to season. Our children, our great-grandchildren, our great-great-great-grandchildren must see this beautiful place of Oregon just as we've been able to experience it. And so I really appreciate each and every one of you putting your best and biggest part of your heart forward at all times for us to be able to share this great, beautiful state with the future generations. And so with that, we'll go ahead and just offer a quick song to honor our chief that has offered his beautiful panmin, Ayayat Sinuit, Pashwapa, Ichan, Salem, Oregon, pa, our chief, late chief Delvis Heath. And so we'd like to just offer an honor song for his words that are printed on one of the boulders here. So we'll carry forward. Thank you. Sure.
once again, as I offer this song and blessing here this day to each and every one of you and your families, and as well to our communities, and the ability for us to be able to work together for the generations to come, and to be thankful to this land, to the water, and all the things and the gifts that to us. You know, as we look to our lives, we be thankful as the sun has greeted us today. The sun has greeted our family members today, that we stay blessed in everything that we do above this world, and that we do our best to work together, and as well for the goodness of all, not only for the state of Oregon, but for our tribal nations. Thank you.
For our next of our speakers, we'd like to welcome Chair Brenda Mead from the Coquille Indian Tribe. Excuse me.
I really don't know if there's much else to say after you hear that song. Thank you so much for that prayer song today, and to hear the drums today, for those blessings. Thank you for that energy that you bring today. I just first want to say Daisla, greetings friends. My name's Brenda Mead. I'm chairman for the Coquille tribe, and I first just have to say hello to our Coquille people here today. Oh, I love that wind. As I was driving here, I was thinking about what words mean. The sunshine and this beautiful day being on this land. Thank you. Thanks for the opportunity.
For our next speaker, it's an honor to welcome Chair Carla Keene, the Cow Creek Band of Umpqua Tribe of Indians.
Well, good morning, everybody. It is wonderful to be here with all of you today. My name is Carla Keene, and I am the chairman of the Cow Creek Band of Umpqua Tribe of Indians. The Cow Creek Umpqua is one of 9 federally recognized tribes in Oregon. While we stand here today in unity as tribal sovereigns, we each also represent a unique perspective of tribal history as part of Oregon's history. The Cow Creek Umpqua Ancestral Territory spans southwestern Oregon, covering Umpqua and Rogue River watersheds and hundreds and thousands of acres of forest lands. The Cow Creek Umpqua tribe was one of the first 2 tribes in Oregon to secure a treaty with the United States of America in 1853, establishing the government-to-government relationship between 2 sovereign nations. As a result of the treaty, the Cow Creek Umpqua tribe became a landless tribe, ceding more than 800 square miles of southwestern Oregon to the United States. The Cow Creek Umpqua was paid 2.3 cents an acre for their land and promised health, housing, and education. Yet the treaty was ignored by the U.S. government for nearly a century until the Western Oregon Indian Termination Act of 1954, which formally terminated the recognition of our tribe and over 60 tribes and bands in Western Oregon as sovereigns within the United States. Many of our tribal ancestors were forced to march north, but 7 core Cow Creek families refused to leave their homelands. They eluded capture by hiding in the remote hills of southern Oregon. For decades, they survived underground, concealing their cultural traditions and language to avoid detection. They never gave up or forgot who they were. Our families had to hide who they were to survive as people, the first people of Oregon, the people who tended the land, the waters, the fish, so that they could be abundant and available for 7 generations in the future. And after 100 years of obstacles and defeats, my grandfather, Wallace Rondo, our former chairwoman, Sue Schaefer, and many others worked diligently to secure the Cow Creek federal recognition in 1984. I share this background because it is our history in Oregon. I share this history because it has only been 40 years as a people that we have been able to live freely as a sovereign we are. I share this history to remind all of those how far we have come because of our determination, resilience, and commitment to self-reliance. And I share this history because I also want us all to understand that this dedication today is the recognition of the artist's expression of tribal history in Oregon. That there are 9 federally recognized tribes with unique histories that are deeper and far more expansive than the quotes selected by some that are represented on these boulders. So thank you for recognizing the federally recognized tribes of Oregon in this capital art project. I hope this dedication also reflects the dedication of our state leaders to help us create a new history for Oregon tribes so that our story for 7 generations in the future is one of partnership, collaboration, and respect for our tribal nations. Thank you very much.
For our next speaker, please help me welcome Chair Catherine Brigham from the Confederated Tribes of Umatilla.
Tatsmewi. Good morning, everyone. Yes, my name is Kat Brigham. I'm the chair of the Confederated Tribes of the Umatilla Indian Reservation. And I think it's important for you to look around. Look around all and see who is here. But also to know that there are some people who are not here accepted through their heart and soul, just like the words on the boulders. Our leaders have fought hard for us, and as tribal leaders today, we fight hard. But it's also important for you to know, at one point this was all Indian country. The whole United States was Indian country, and we took care of the land for generations, for generations, for generations, because we planned for our children. We wanted our children to see, and I just read it, what we're seeing, but better. I mean, I can remember when we were able to drink water from any stream in the state of Oregon, any stream in the United States. We can no longer do that. And yet, the water to Mother Earth is just like the blood to our bodies. It keeps us alive. And therefore, it's really important that we plan, we work, we collaborate, and we do things together, because no one can do this alone. No one. So our children's children depend on us. And I think it's also important for each and every one of us to think about, what did you do? What if your grandchild comes up to you and says, what did you do to protect our natural resources? How did you help? And I'm hoping each and every one of us can say we stood up for you, because we were thinking of you as our future generations. So there's a lot of things that is done today, and quite frankly, I say about time. But at the same time, it takes time, and we recognize that. And with this being recognized, it's also important to have said, our Salem officials hopefully will start working with us more to plan for the future, because we all depend on it. Our natural resources are for all of us. They do not recognize boundaries. Our water does not stop when it comes to a state, a federal, or a tribal boundary. Neither does our air, neither does our big game and our animals. So that's why it's important that we work together and plan for the future so that they, our children, will have a future to enjoy our natural resources. Thank you all for being here. It's great to see all of you here, and hopefully we're all going to be in this together in the future, fighting for our children. Thank you.
For our next speaker, please help me welcome Chief Doug Barrett, Julie Seastrom, Tribal Council, Confederated Tribes, Coos, Lower Umpqua, and Sayusla Indians.
Nishina, Sayusla, Umpqua, LC. Chief Doug Barrett from the Confederated Tribes of Coos, Lower Umpqua, Sayusla Indians. We do have Kalapuya in our bloodlines too, so thank you for allowing us on this land, and thank you, Grand Ron, for doing the blessing song. Appreciate it. First of all, I'd like to say thank you to our artists that are here. I'd like to have Sarah Seastrom stand up. She did the artwork on the stairs. One of our tribal members, thank you. Tony Johnson from Chinook Tribe, Chairman, and Sherrod Yonkers. They both they do the paddles, they do carving, they do a lot of stuff. So thank you guys for being here. We too were terminated tribes. I don't know if you guys know what terminated and restoration means. It's a big deal for restoration for us. Termination meant we couldn't speak our language. We couldn't vote. So it's a big deal that we're restored back to human beings today, and not well, I won't say it, but what we were in the archives. I'll just let you guys look it all up and see where we were. It's a big deal for our ancestors to have their sayings on these rocks, these boulders that are here. You know, if it wasn't for our ancestors, we wouldn't be here. The fight that they went through, the not speaking our language, the cutting the hair, telling people we weren't Indian just so we could survive. Whoa, here they all go. Okay. Thanks for blowing the breath there, Creator, Great Spirit. Appreciate that. Cool me off a little bit so I won't say what I'm not supposed to say. I don't have a script. But we appreciate all the ancestors before us. Without their sayings, without their fighting, you know, the fighting for our lives. We were stewards of our lands and our waters, even though we don't own them. So think about that for a minute. 1.6 million acres taken from our tribes alone, let alone everybody else who lost all their lands. We didn't get a dime. We didn't get a penny. So congratulations that you guys did, but we still have an unratified treaty that's never been taken care of. So someday, maybe we can revisit that. But like everybody said before me, with the help of all of our people here in the capital, this is a start. Maybe next comes more tribal murals in the inside, so you can see where our canoes are, what we do, where our canoes traveled on the waters. All these waters are sacred to us, and we're running out of time to save our waters. Look what's happening to our ocean. Like Kat says, her salmon come to our ocean, and then they have to run the gauntlet all the way to Alaska and back and survive to come back and spawn. Our lamprey have to do the same thing, and they have regular perils, except for at Willamette Falls, which is an awesome place. But half of our lamprey are probably there also because they're not returning back to our rivers. Our ecosystem is so messed up, we need to fix it yesterday, not tomorrow. So if you guys can instill in all your kids and everybody, please pick up the garbage that you see around. Use gloves if you have to, because you got to watch out for needles nowadays. It's pretty sad when you have to lock your doors now because people are stealing everything. Back on we don't even have a reservation. You know, 6 acres is what we started with, but You have to lock your doors now. That's pretty sad. But our waters are the main thing. Our whales are dying at astronomical. They're all starving. Why? Because there's not enough food for them to eat. Our salmon are dying because they're getting eaten by sea lions that are running amok. But I'll stop that political stuff now. So I appreciate everybody being here. Appreciate the song from Grand Ron and everybody listening to all of us. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. I am Julie Seastrom. I'm Hannes Kuz. I'm tribal council member for our tribe. And I'm also our LCIS representative. And I humbly thank everybody who's here today to celebrate with us the first time in our Oregon history that we have permanent art in our state capitol. Whether you see it in the stairwells inside the building, or whether you see it on these beautiful stones outside the building, the words that are written there from all the different tribes. What I've been told by some of my elders who know much more than myself for the last 50 years that they've been involved, this is our first time that we're coming together like this to celebrate our artists and to celebrate our poets and to celebrate our speakers. Again, thank you, Grand Ron, for bringing our prayer song to us to begin the day. Thank you, Warm Springs, for doing the tribute to your chief, the prayer song that you gave us. I had chills running up and down me the whole time you were singing that song. I hope that what we're doing today is something that stays with us in perpetuity. We're all here together to celebrate the good things that we're doing together to make our world a better place. We're giving respect for our land, we're giving respect for our water, and giving respect for our air, and most importantly, for the artists and speakers who gave us the words that we can look to as we're coming and going from this building, trying to do the work that we need to do for our people. A humbly thank you.
Next in our program, please help me welcome Dave Harrelson, Oregon Arts Commissioner.
Thank you. It's good to be here with all of you today. I'm indigenous from this place. My family's village is just right down the road of Chemekety. And I'm also in my 5th year of serving as an Oregon Arts Commissioner. And it's my honor to share some things with you. First, I just want to have, besides the artists that contributed to these pieces inside and outside of the building, if you could stand, but also the staff at the Oregon Arts Commission, at the Cultural Trust, if you could stand and be recognized. If you were on the selection panel that helped with this work, you know, there's a lot of hands that went into this, and I just really appreciate all of the talents that made something like this happen. Oregon's Percent for the Art and Public Places program was created by the legislature over 50 years ago. This visionary idea has ensured that our public gathering places reflect the values and creativity of the people they serve. Our public spaces provide inspiration, spark conversation and connection, and convey stories. The program strives to ensure that Oregon's public spaces reflect Oregon's public life. This place we call Oregon is a vessel that contains all of the lives and stories that have been and continue to be lived here. And even those stories that are taught to us about how humans really are, like when Coyote tells us how the world works. Our public art reflects the people, places, and practices of Oregon. This Oregon Voices installation is a model of the Percent program ethos. The project furthers Indigenous presence in this important civic space while contributing to a broader understanding that Oregon's tribes are a foundation of Oregon's identity. This is not a single statement, but a constellation of perspectives across time. The work is rooted in a commitment to protecting artistic practice as a necessity of the Percent for the Art program and aligned within a placekeeping tradition meant to nurture belonging. This work helps this symbolic building of our state reflect the values and creativity of Oregon's diverse First Peoples. Thank you.
For our next speaker in today's program, please help me welcome Jason Holland, the chair of the Oregon Arts Commission.
Good morning. I'm Jason Holland. I'm proud to be your chair of the Oregon Arts Commission, and I come to you from the Central Coast of Newport. Arts and culture are a core part of what makes Oregon special in reaching every community in every part of the state. They create economic vitality, local identity, and community connection. Our creativity, our vibrancy is a source of strength for Oregon. Oregon lawmakers recognized this in creating the Oregon Arts Commission, one of the first of its kind in the nation in 1967. Today, we support hundreds of nonprofit organizations, individual artists, and partner with the Oregon Cultural Trust to actively steward arts, culture, heritage, and humanities so that our civic fabric is strong for the next generation. The Arts Commission's Percent for Art in Public Places program is an important part of this work. One of the first such programs in the nation when it originated in 1975, Percent for Art requires that a fraction of the construction or renovation budget on a state project be invested in public art. The art is selected by committees that are connected with the places and the people the project serves. Over time, Percent for Art created an amazing collection all across the state of over 2,600 artworks. They're inside and outside, embedded in universities, hospitals, state offices, and civic spaces just like this one. These artworks are experienced by Oregonians every day in quiet and in lasting ways. They are symbols of civic investment, and they speak to where we have been, how we have got to where we are, and what we aspire to be moving forward. Today we recognize that artwork, like Oregon Voices, inspire all who walk these grounds across this and future generations. Thank you.
Next in our program, please help me welcome Dr. Philip Kashkash, our artist.
Touch me we oikalo inim hemiuma kalalautiwama. Good morning, my friends and relatives. I want to share words in my language to reflect the feeling and the belief or the outlook or the experience that is contained in many of the words here that was selected for this art installation. But one message that I want to convey is that it is important to remember and understand the experience of all indigenous peoples in this land. The words are meant to share with you their connection to the earth and why that is such a vital element in the lifeway of our ancestors. And so with these words, I want to reflect again on that. Nunim anokonma kunku pawi sepsna humakas timnalakit kayoh konim yawa watos. Our ancestors always carried a big belief for that which concerns the earth. Kima ausich naxnich temina kawach nakt. They had one heart and one mind. Kakia ilpil titokama wisich uyi titokama watas kinich. And we who are the red people, the first peoples of this land, Kustita nunim atwiksi kenya wakima wakishwit pama. Similarly, we too are following along this ancient way of life. Kawako kitaks lahepa. Oi kaloma a kaano ki witiken laam witiken kon mai hipatichna. We are honoring the words, all the various words that have been spoken in this manner for the earth. Hipatkanekia nunim wiatiken ipnim isket. To us, they have lain down a trail of words. He was ki konmai etwikti nunim ui titokama. And it is in this manner we follow the first peoples, our ancestors. Kamachka naksnich wakishwit walat ich imitpa nuna. Let it be that the one life forever flows within us. Kamachka kawakiat iktichwatas tsayochosa nuna. Let it be that when we speak, the earth will always hear us. Kako at katsiyaoya inem timna ka sampun metki akuyaki kinawatus. With my whole heart, I give thanks to all of you, and I end with this acknowledgement from me, from my people, from my homelands and my ancestors to this place, to this indigenous land. Thank you.
Continuing with our program, it's my honor to introduce Speaker of the House, Julie Fahey.
Good morning, everyone. I am honored and humbled to be here today with all of you on Kalapuya lands, celebrating this remarkable installation. It's my job to thank a number of the people who made this happen today, but as I was sitting here looking at the flags of the 9 tribes, I was remembering a story from my very first year in this building as a legislator, almost a decade ago. I was in my office and I was meeting with a group of tribal youth, teenagers, and we were talking about the issues that mattered to them, their schools, and like many teenagers who visit this building, they were a little hesitant, they were quiet, they were maybe a little nervous, and was, trying to keep a conversation going. And I happened to mention that outside of my window, my office window, you could see 9 flagpoles with the 9 flags of the 9 tribes. And it was like a switch flipped with them. They jumped up from the table, they ran to the window, they were animated and excited and trying to point out where their tribe's flag was. And it was such an important, critical lesson of how important it is for people to see themselves in this building. The work we do matters in this building, and I focus on the policy, but also the message that this building sends through its symbols and through its artwork, that also matters. The message it sends to the people of Oregon. As Chair Mead said, this land belongs to all of us. This building belongs to all of us, and we all have the ability to influence the change that happens here. The works we are celebrating today are a continuation of that message, and they are also reveal a deeper understanding of the space that we occupy here. Through their grounding in Native knowledge, storytelling, and artistic traditions, these works resonate with the deeper history of this land and embody the importance of honoring the lives, voices, and wisdom that have shaped Oregon since time immemorial. This stunning installation is made possible by Oregon's Percent for Art program. For more than 50 years, this initiative has helped bring works like these into public spaces across our state. Works that are the result of an enormous collaboration between the Oregon Arts Commission, legislative administration, the Percent for the Art committee members, and each of the selected artists whose creativity and vision brought this project to life. I especially want to thank Megan Attia for chairing the committee, Julian Papinga for her outstanding project management, and every member of the committee for their thoughtful work that made this installation a reality. And today, we are proud to celebrate the work of 6 remarkable artists whose contributions are already shaping this space in meaningful ways. Thank you to Dr. Kashkash, Sarah Seastrom, Oliver Casillas, Adam McIsaac, Sherrod Yonker, and Tony Johnson. Each of these artists brings a distinct perspective and voice, and together their work reflects the richness, creativity, and diversity of Oregon itself. While today marks an exciting milestone, it is only the beginning. We look forward to seeing more of the final artwork and projects as they are realized over the coming months. To everyone who helped make this possible, thank you. Thank you for helping to create public spaces that inspire, welcome, and tell a richer story about who we are as Oregonians.
To close today's formal speaking portion of the ceremony, and to those who have made the Capitol Plaza a reality, to Mayor Reed, particularly Brian Stewart for his design direction, Hoffman Construction, Pioneer Waterproofing for the beautiful marble work, SRG Partnership, and the entire Capitol Accessibility Maintenance and Safety team for their work, and the incredible flag holders here behind me, if we could give it up. A little bit of a wave behind. Thank you, James. Thank you to our members from the Oregon State Capitol Foundation for sponsoring today's program, and the Oregon Capitol Club for the flowers. As I did a little bit of a scan, and this is always a little bit dangerous to call out my colleagues, because if I miss someone, I know I'll be criticized, but I see 2 state legislators here, both who I believe are members as to the LCIS, and that would be Senator Dick Anderson, if you could wave, sir, and State Representative Tana Sanchez. And finally, there's one important person who I think will always be reflected in the history of the Oregon State Legislature as my predecessor, Peter Michael Coleman Courtney. I see his wife, Margie, here as well today. So Margie, I'm sure Peter is smiling on everyone. At this time, I would like to invite everyone into the building for refreshments in the Galleria, to meet the artists at the concourse stairwells and in the courtyards. You're also welcome to spend time with the boulders in the quote so you can soak in today's incredible experience. You can enter the building behind me to the left, and you can also walk around to the center entrance off of State Street as well. Thank you again to all of our incredible speakers, to our tribal leadership today for sharing this momentous moment with us. Welcome, everyone.